various modes of transportation: aeroplane, bullock cart, bus, ship, train, cycle, car, and submarine. So these are various modes of transportation that we know. और भी बहुत सारे हैं. You can write your own example by looking around you. So yes, how far you have traveled? अब इसका आंसर हम कैसे देख सकते हैं कि how far we have traveled in kilometers maybe, है ना? Or by discussing a random kind of distances that it is 1 foot away, or it is 2 blocks away, or it is 3 blocks away, or it is near to the park. So these words we can use to tell or to explain that how far we have traveled or how far we have to go. Now, how wide is this desk? Another question is कि if we have desk in front of us and if someone asks us that how wide is the desk, कि desk कितनी wide है, how will you answer? Yeah, so we have to measure for it. So how will you know whether you can walk all the way to your school or whether you will need to take a bus or a rickshaw to reach your school? या हमें ये कैसे पता लगेगा that if I have to go school, for example, so how will I know if I have to go by walk or if I have to take the bus or I can go by rickshaw? By knowing the distance. या अगर तो बहुत ज्यादा दूर है स्कूल तो obviously I have to take the bus. अगर ज्यादा दूर नहीं है, it can be reached by rickshaw also, so I'll take the rickshaw. Or if it is near to my house, तो I can go by walk also. So इन चीजों में हमें क्या चीज देखने की जरूरत है? We need to know the distance, कि वो हमारे घर से स्कूल कितने दूरी पर है. How far is our school? या any other place we talk about. So yes, it is important to know how far a place is to reach that place. Walk, take a bus or train, a ship or an aeroplane. If we have to, for example, if we have to go to our native place and we have enough time, like for example, we are going for summer vacations, so we can take a train for going to our native place because it is in a different state. Yeah. And suppose we have to reach somewhere very earliest the same day for an urgent meeting, let's say. So we can board an aeroplane for that purpose so that we can reach from one state to another state in a day, because as we know that we have the fastest mode of transportation, that is aeroplane. And if we have to go local, if we have to travel local, then we can take bus also for traveling locally. Yeah, if we have to go nearby, we can use the bicycle or we can go by foot. So yes, these kind of things we can know if we know that how far that place is. If we have that knowledge, so we can apply it here. So yes, there are objects whose length or width we need to know. For example, we talked about desk also. हमने desk के बारे में बात की. तो for example, let's say that this is the table. So इसका width और length कितनी है, ये हमें कैसे पता लगेगा? Sorry, width और length हमें कितनी है इस table की? So how will we know? We have to measure it for it to know the exact measurement. Yeah. Now there are many desks in Paheli and Bujho's classroom. Let's talk about the classroom now. कि Paheli and Bujho are students studying in a class and they have a desk. Obviously, every student has a desk in front of them on which they sit. So now, Paheli and Bujho share one desk but end up fighting that other is using a larger share of the desk. For example, Paheli and Bujho are sitting on a single desk and they keep on fighting that you are sitting on the extra half of the desk than me. लड़ते हैं that जो डेस्क है उसकी ज्यादा जगह या तो पहेली ने ले रखी है या तो बूझो ने ले रखी है. So they keep on fighting over it that okay, this is getting all miscalculated. So let's find out कि किसके पास ज्यादा शेयर है डेस्क का. Yeah. So what they did now, they decided to measure the length of the desk. तो उन्होंने सोचा कि let's find out कि कौन ज्यादा शेयर यूज कर रहा है डेस्क का. Is it पहेली or is it बूझो? So they decided to measure it. And how they measured it? Let's see. Both of them are very fond of गिल्ली डंडा. So गिल्ली डंडा is a kind of a game that we play. हम कितने टाइम से ये play करते हुए आ रहे हैं गिल्ली डंडा. So डंडा is a long stick and गिल्ली is the small wooden piece that we hit with the longer stick. So that is what is गिल्ली डंडा. So what they did? Bujho bought a set of गिल्ली डंडा in the classroom. Bujho bought it in the classroom just to measure that how long the desk is on which they are sitting. So they measured the length of desk using गिल्ली डंडा. कैसे? Desk's length was equal to 2 danda lengths and 2 lengths of gilli. Here you can see that for example, this was the desk on which the Bujo and Pahil is sitting. So here they have measured with the gilli danda. As you can see on the right side, that here is the danda kept, and on the other side it is the gilli. So, and on the left hand side you can see the imprints of danda and the gilli that has been used. So with the help of gilli danda they have measured. तो उनके पास क्या आया length? That the desk is 2 danda and 2 gillis long. Means जो longer stick है उसको हमने जब 2 times रखा तो 2 times and 2 times जब हमने गिल्ली रखी the smaller wooden piece, so now they have got the measurement of the whole desk on which they were sitting. So with the help of this they measured or they drew the line in between. तो उन्होंने क्या किया? बीच में एक line draw कर दी that this one is of Pahili and this one is of Bujo. So that is how they have distributed it with the help of गिल्ली डंडा. As they were fighting कि तुम्हारे पास ज्यादा शेयर है या मेरे पास ज्यादा शेयर है. So they used their brains and bought whatever they had just to measure so that they can distribute it equally. So after a few days the mark line gets wiped out. So Pahili and Bujo measured the length of the desk with the help of gilli and danda. So that measurement got wiped out after some time. So Bujo has a new set of gilli danda as he lost the old one. So Bujo again bought the gilli danda set to the classroom because he lost his gilli danda, the old one. वो खो गया था. So he bought the new set. Now the length of the desk is 2 danda length and 1 gilli length with a small length is still left out. As you can see कि कितना है? 2 danda of length and only 1 gilli length. Also the small length is still left out as you can see कि overlap कर रही है गिल्ली. as you can see कि थोड़ी सी लेंथ फिर भी रह गई है. Why? Because the danda, this stick or danda as we mentioned here is bigger than the older one. जो बूझो का पुराना गिल्ली डंडा था, compared to that, this stick is longer as compared to the older one. Yeah, older stick. So that is why here is a difference in the measurement that 2 danda has now occupied a quite lot of space and the gilli is still overlapping and it is not coming as it was coming before in the previous measurement. तो that is why इनमें आपको difference नजर आ रहा है कि stick की length में difference है, also जो गिल्ली है it is also different than the previous one. So now they could use length of string and mark 2 points on it because there is a difference in measurement of the previous gilli danda that Bujo has brought and the new one he has brought to the classroom. तो उनके बीच में क्या आ रहा है? There is a huge difference. तो exact measurement अब नहीं पता लग पा रही है कि who is sharing the larger area of the desk. So now they are using the length of a string to measure the length of the desk. So now they can measure the width of the desk in string length. How? They can fold the string and mark it into 1/2, 1/4 or 1/8 string length. So that is how they are measuring that they have folded the string into half or the 1/4 or the 1/8 of the string. So now they can measure the exact length of desk using string. As you can see in this picture that Bujo is measuring this length of the desk with the help of a string. So yes, there are so many occasions when we need to measure lengths and distances. Obviously we know कि हमें बहुत सारी ऐसी places हैं जहाँ पे length measure करने की जरूरत पड़ती है, distance measure करने की जरूरत पड़ती है because we have so much to do. हमें इतनी जगह जाना होता है, we have to perform different work, we have to build different kind of things around us. So tailor needs to measure the length of cloth to stitch a kurta. अब उसके लिए भी measurement चाहिए होती है, सबकी body type different होती है. To measure the length, arm कितनी लंबी है, लेग कितना लंबा होना चाहिए, मतलब कुर्ते का. So that is how a tailor makes a kurta, by taking the measurement of a person. Now carpenter needs to measure the height and width of a cupboard to know how much wood is required. Obviously carpenter को अगर कोई चीज build करनी है, for example a door, a window, so he has to take the measurement of the wall in which a window or the door has to be fitted. So that is where the measurement is required. Now farmer needs to know length and breadth of the land to sow seed for the crops. एक लैंड एरिया है, एक फील्ड एरिया है, कितना लंबा होना चाहिए, उसमें कितने डिविजन्स होने चाहिए, एंड उसमें किन किन टाइप्स के क्रॉप जो है या सीड्स हमें सो करना है, उसके लिए लेंथ जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड ब्रेड्थ जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है उस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड का, वेयर अ क्रॉप नीड्स टू बी grown. So these are the various examples, और भी बहुत सारे examples हैं in our day-to-day life where we need the measurement of this various objects or the things which we have to make. Let it be cloth or house, or even when we have to travel from one place to another, whether we have to travel local or we have to go far away to another state. Yes, all these things concern distance between two places. कुछ भी हमें मेजर करना है तो obviously we need to measure the distance from point A to point B for any type of measurement we are talking about. So for example, two places may be close enough like two ends of table. For example, this is the table. अगर हमें measurement ही करनी है तो वो कोई चीज close measurement भी हो सकती है. For example, from measuring point A till point B. So this is the length we are talking about. So this also requires measurement, as Pahili and Bojo did, right? Or they may be far apart like Jammu and Kanyakumari. So for example, this is the map of India that I am drawing. ठीक है? इसमें आप kindly cooperate that kind of India that I have drawn. So this is Jammu. This is on the northmost side, or this is Kanyakumari. This is the southmost side. So now the distance needs to be measured from north till south. So that is the whole different story. यहाँ पे भी आपको measurement की जरूरत पड़ेगी. आप कैसे यहाँ पे travel करोगे, कितना time लगेगा. So all these things need to be measured, and that is why measurement of distances are so important in our lives.